Hi, this is Tim with the Minimalist Trainer. I had gotten a number of questions and requests to talk about food to eat to add into your workout routine. And it's important, first of all, to know that everybody's body is different. So there is no one magical diet that everyone can follow to make them in great shape. There's an outline, a basic idea of what to eat, to stay in shape. There's some things that matter, such as, if you're a hard gainer, if you've got really high metabolism, you're going to be able to get away with maybe a little more fatty foods, a little more higher calorie, higher carb food you can mix in. Because your body's going to burn those. Obviously, if you're someone who is a slow metabolism, you're going to want to be a little more strict with your diet, because a lot of things can attribute to being fat. But I'm just going to give a basic outline of what I eat. And once again, I'm not saying this is the magic diet. People have a lot of things that they like to eat that are healthy. I'm just going to show you what I usually do. Now, for breakfast, it's generally pretty basic for me. I generally have eggs as part of my breakfast. A lot of people will say, oh, you have to eat egg whites only, da da da. But the fact of the matter is, the yolk in the egg has a lot of healthy fats and things for you. And unless you're going to compete where you need things down to a science to look ripped, there's no need to eat egg whites only. If you're someone that doesn't like the taste of the yolk or something like that, go ahead. But I don't ever just eat egg whites. I eat regular eggs. Also, along with that every morning, now I eat, just because of time, basically I like the instant Quaker oatmeal. And once again, I have to say, this is not as good for you as regular cream of wheat or oatmeal, because it has a lot of processed carbs and sugars in it. But for me, I like having a little sugar and carb in the morning, so I usually just eat that along with the eggs. Now, even something as simple as Cheerios, something like that, is healthy. You can snack on it. You can have it for breakfast if you're not feeling that hungry. You don't have to get too crazy with the diet. Now, lunchtime, depending on, of course, when you work out during the day, will have an effect somewhat on what you eat. But just generally, I like to, have something along the lines of tuna, or even canned crab meat. It's a little more expensive than tuna, but these are really low in fat, low in carbs, and high in protein. Great stuff to eat. And I see people eat it right out of the can. You can do that if you want, but I can't do that. I like to usually mix a little mayonnaise in there, and once again, I don't get crazy with no fat mayonnaise, low fat mayonnaise. I just use straight up regular mayonnaise, but you can do whatever you want with that. And I like to mix it up and toast some bread and have it as a sandwich. That's just what I do, but those are two great ideas. And also, another good thing at lunchtime is I buy a lot of pre-made things, frozen things, just for time constraints mainly. And once again, people will say, natural unfrozen is better, which is true. But for time constraints, I like regular old, carved chicken breast you can buy, done in a couple minutes. And of course, along with the chicken breasts, you want some veggies, some corn and peas, or whatever your, asparagus, green beans, whatever your favorite is. You know, I have cans and the frozen kind. This depends on your time constraint once again. That's kind of a generalized lunch. Now another thing that a lot of people don't use or like is peanut butter. Now I don't really have, you know, a big peanut butter and jelly sandwich or something like that, but I actually, a couple times during the day, I like to take a spoonful of the peanut butter and eat it, because it has, the fats in this are healthy fats. You know, the cholesterol is actually good cholesterol if you only have a spoonful. You know, if you can't get crazy and eat half the tin, but that will add a lot of protein and good fats and cholesterol to your diet. And you know, of course, a regular old ham and cheese sandwich or something is good too. Whatever you can do. And of course, between meals, you know, it's good, like I've said in the past, you want to have a protein supplement in between meals. You can get a meal replacement type shake like Ensure. I know a lot of people that drink Ensure. It has some pretty good protein, but a regular old protein shake in between. And of course, right after you work out, you're going to want a whey protein shake immediately, or within 30 minutes or so, and then eat your meal. Now, dinner for me is usually the most important meal for me, because I seem to be most hungry at dinner time. And of course, you know, the usual options. You know, you can buy fresh seafood or meat, which can get kind of expensive. I personally like tilapia. It's really high in protein, low in fat, and there's not much flavor, so you can add, you know, lemon and some spices to it. But something like tilapia, a whitefish generally. Salmon is okay, but I stick mainly to whitefish, flounder, cod. Cod's not quite as good for you. But so you can pick, you know, fish. And once again, you can either buy a fresh meat. I like to buy steaks. You know, I try to get a cut that, you know, top round. I try to get a cut that's relatively cheap. You know, this particular one is about a 3-pound steak for $4. It's a London broil steak, and this will probably be 2 meals at least. So, you know, that's really good for money wise. So, you know, fish or steak. I like to even add in sometimes, I like to get fried rice. Obviously, you wouldn't want to eat that all the time, but just to add some flavor along with the fish, especially the fish, that's really good. I also like, one of my favorite pieces of chicken, Chinese, is orange chicken. It's got a lot of flavor. You know, obviously fried foods aren't the best thing to eat all the time, but you can have them, you know, a couple times a week. It's not a big deal. Like I said, unless you're someone trying to compete, there's no reason to get crazy with your diet so that you don't even look forward to eating, you know, and things like that. That's not good. You want to add some flavor, add some things that you'll get excited about eating. And basically, that's about it, really. Those are all the foods I generally eat. You know, I'll occasionally, once every couple weeks or something, I might go to like a Baja Fresh and get a pork burrito, something like that, but not that often. Once every couple weeks maybe for lunch after a workout. You know, you just have to keep yourself somewhat excited to eat. If your diet is so bland and strict, you know, it's going to make you're not going to really enjoy the process of staying in shape. Now, another thing I wanted to add I don't have with me right now is one of my favorite things to do is buy a rotisserie chicken that's already done and cook. Basmati rice is my favorite kind of rice, and you want to use the flavor rice if you're going to cook it from scratch. You want to use chicken stock, or I use chicken stock. You can use a beef stock, vegetable stock, and use that instead of water as your cooking base for the rice. That'll give it a nice little flavor instead of just being bland. after the rice is cooked, I like to take the shredded chicken, mix it in with the rice, mix it all around. You know, you can put a little butter in it. I actually like to put some paprika in it. Personally, it gives it a little color and flavor. A little lime juice. You can use a little bit of salt, sea salt. If you're ever going to use salt, you really want to use sea salt. You don't really want to use table salt. Table salt can be radiated, you know, iodine in it. It's just not worth it. And to me, sea salt tastes better anyways. But and then I can have that. You can make a lot of rice with that, and I put it in a big container, and you can have that for a snack or anytime you want to eat. It's something healthy and quick. So hopefully you guys will get some ideas from this. Not all of this is stuff that you probably haven't seen. It's pretty basic, but it's good to see, you know, what someone eats and how you do it. And hopefully, you know, and I wanted to show some things that weren't really that expensive to do, because everybody's on a budget nowadays. And like I said before, I just wanted to stress, you know, I'm not saying this is the only diet to be on. You know, some people will get upset and say, oh, well, I eat this, I eat that. You know, that's great. Everybody has their own little tricks and things that they like. I'm just showing you what I eat. And hopefully some of you guys will be educated by this video.